Hello, everybody. This work focuses on state of self-consciousness based on a new hypothesis called self-fragmenting space. Consciousness literature talks of information processing in organism level. To some extent, it touches upon information processing at cosmic level. Consciousness philosophy talks of information-less state too. This is a scientific effort to to unify these three views of information processing in consciousness literature. To get to a right information theory, we believe an apt nature of reality is a must, and therefore a hypothesis on nature of reality. As a pre-runner, two mainstream theories that are closely positioned to the hypothesis are listed here. Einstein's gravity theory makes the predictions that empty space can have its own internal energy. It's a property of the space itself. Wheeler further added tiny vibrations in such a space-time. And here is our hypothesis. Space is a continuum of internal energy and it's at Planck scale fluctuations. Owing to energy pressure differentials, local peaks form in the continuum. The peak fractionates to form multitudes of quanta. Quanta produced are subjected to energy pressure pulses compacted to form a pack. And this pack is what we call fundamental particle. The pressure energy pulses acting on the fundamental particles actually cause the spin. And owing to the spin, quanta from the periphery of the forming pack tend to escape radially. They are limited by the continuum's potential energy. They form a field around the particle as it is shown here. Using this background, we are investigating the elementary aspects of information processing. Quanta trapped in spin would point to information storage as per the scheme. The quanta in radial ripples will point to information transfer. Such quanta in radial ripples, when interfere with each other, would imply information processing. The pack is represented with mass and kinetic energy. The spin field is represented with the curl of the velocity. The radial ripple is represented with the divergence of the velocity, and the entire thing is occurring in the internal energy of space pointed as E naught here. To continue, we further assume that the entire cosmos is filled with such spin radial couples, and spin radial couple is responsible for information storage and transmission, as we saw. Perturbations emanating from spin radial couples would spread along the spin network. Specific pathway in the network, when it is in coherence, will lead to information storage and processing remotely. As it takes space as a medium approach, standard wave, classical wave equations are applicable to compute energy and to compute coherence function. The second approach follows quantum mechanics. Here in this case, we treat the spin wave as a wave function trapped in a potential well. The boundary condition of the potential well depends on the internal energy of the space. Such potential wells are connected by the radial ripples. Here in this case, it's represented with the Planck's equation. When such well loops are in entangled state, that leads to information storage and processing remotely at the same time. What does this mean to cell consciousness? When we look at information processing in biosystem, processes such as chemical and electrical synapse actually point to fundamental particles traveling in space-time. Here, as per this scheme, the entire biosystem is submerged in space as a continuum, and this continuum consists of multitudes of information spin networks. This implies that the energy dissipated is available to the network, and therefore remote locations can also receive this information, leading to non-locality of consciousness. One possibility is connectedness of information processing between two or more biosystems via the same information spin network, which is being investigated now. Now, implication to prevalent theories, EM theories of consciousness propose information encoding as a function of brain's global electromagnetic field. We would say that this electromagnetic field is always in constant connection with the information spin network, and therefore information of a biosystem is available at a remote location in the universe. For odd OR, the foundations of arc-over would suggest that curvature or difference of curvature in space-time geometry is necessary to establish a conscious experience. On similar lines, in this scheme, we find that the extent of the spin field is absolutely necessary for a conscious experience to blossom. To explain, we have this sea of energy and the spin field separated by a boundary layer, similar to the boundary layer of fluid mechanics that governs the momentum and in, momentum and energy transfer. Here, in this case, the extent of this boundary layer determines information production, information propagation, etc. And therefore, the boundary layer that we are talking about is quite synonymous to the space-time curvature dealt in OR. To summarize, spin radial couple as an elementary information storage and processing means is proposed in both biological and cosmic levels. Spin networks or looped quantum wells enable information storage and processing. One special case is the primordial space that surrounds the cosmos. Here, there are no spin radial couples, which means this is the informationless state. We thank all the previous researchers who have laid the foundations that helped us to build this theory. And the nature of reality considered in this work is based upon the teachings of philosopher revered Vedatri. Our sincere gratitude to the body of knowledge that he has developed called Vedatrium. The authors of this work can be contacted in this email address below. Thank you for the opportunity.